whole life is the story pattern. Everything you do is a story pattern. This is fun. And, oh, that's a hint at where this is going. Hey, what's up? How are you doing? Oh, my hair's a mess. All right, here we go. Write a book with me. This is chapter 5. Write a book with me about how to write a book. How to start, how to start, how to fill, how to finish your book. This is this crazy idea I got because I started off in October, and I was just making videos. I was shooting for like 8-10 minutes, and then by December, by November, maybe even by the end of October, I started deconstructing these videos. It's like, what's the purpose? What am I doing here? And then by December, I started organizing the videos by the day. And then now it's January, and I'm organizing videos by the week. And so it just happens to turn out that a week's worth of videos, 5 hours, actually 5.5, makes about 50,000 words, a 200-page book. So that's where I got the idea. Hey, write a book with me. And this is, and I've upped the channel. I teach the storytelling pattern, the story pattern. And it's funny how it's turning into just that generic story pattern. It's been the story arc. I'm the story sentence coach. But ultimately, this is the story pattern that goes across sentences and arcs and chapters and books and series, and your whole life is the story pattern. Everything you do is a story pattern. This is fun. And, oh, that's a hint at where this is going. Yeah, so this is Tuesday. This is day 2, chapter 5. We're shooting for 20 chapters by Friday. I think I can do it. Well, I know I can do it because I average about 150 words a minute. And it's 5 hours, and you multiply that, 5.5 hours, and you get like around 50,000 words. Confession. I had no, this is my 4th book on this. I've taken the questions offline, in forums and writing books off the top of my head. But ultimately, I want to write books with you guys on how to write books. And you guys can join in and eventually get a chance to get into the editing process and all the behind the scenes stuff. And get into the big detail stuff. The big details, the minute details. They're the same. And so this is so what I do is I turn on the camera. I've got my note cards. I've got a few more today. I got like 8 note cards, but that's 8 note cards, and it turns into like 8,000 words. So you can see there's not 8,000, there's not 1,000 words on each card. So what happens? It's the storytelling pattern. So when you're a little bit stressed, when you need ideas, what happens is you fall into this pattern that is the storytelling pattern, and it goes opportunity, evaluation, and attestment. And those are like the main things I teach on this channel. But now, since I'm doing books, it's sort of nudging up. So if there's 10 levels of storytelling, of story patterns, there are like the first 3.5 on this channel. And then, if I went in too deep, then it'd be like we're doing brain surgery here. New people would come on and they say, oh, well, I don't get this. It's too complicated. But it's not. You do this all the time. This is what you do when you're not trying to tell a story. You're still telling stories. I figured that's where I broke it down, and in end of October and November I was trying to do a video without telling a story. Couldn't do it. Even if I go like this, it sort of means something in the story. Even a pause means something. All right. So I gave my big confession. And so where we're at now is, so how do you outline a story? I gave an example of it. So when you teach a lesson online and you don't and you don't go by a script, you'll find that you give your examples first, which is like usually great for students. Students love that. Give me the example first, then explain it. Catch me up on where I've been. Okay, so how do I outline? There's no outline. Go look up outlines. Google outlines, and you'll find people get confused. People get confused. They're like, so some stick to the plot, but then others get this inkling feeling, wait a minute, but there's all these other parts of the story. How do you put that in the outline? And so they start adding things in. It took me forever to figure out. I was following Matt Bird at one time. Great guy, great website. Secret of Story. And so it's like I pass people on the path and I say hello to them, and then I look at you guys just to keep our relationship going here. I'm going to take you through the next 16 chapters. Yeah, this is fun. Oh no, I'm 7 minutes into this. Okay, so why isn't there an outline? The reason there isn't an outline is because for the longest time, and still going on now, writing teachers, writers, they say there's no one way to tell a story, which there is, and so since there's no one way to tell a story, you make these rough drafts with no rules. Even if you're writing a happy birthday card, right? There's no rules. And in some cases there shouldn't be. Why should there be rules to writing a birthday card? Well, there should be certain rules. Let's see. So, how do you become a writer? Oh, and then this is blending in. I went through my note cards and I was planning to do number 6. This is chapter 5. I was planning to do chapter 6, and it gets into, what does chapter 6 get into? This is a preview for chapter 6. How do you become a writer? But it follows through. This is fun. I'm leading you through this book on how to become a writer, how to become this stage of writer. There's another stage of writer where it's like, oh my gosh, you've seen it all. It's like, oh man, we're robots. The old man, we're robots level. But until then, let's just go through this. This is the level where we're going to talk about it. We can chat. Okay, and so this is like full blown preview here. So how do you become a writer? Well, what if I trick myself into becoming a writer? What if I could practice? Oh, I could go to editing school. Yes, editing school, right? Because you have to deal with these editors, and after you write your story, you have to have an editor edit it. You need to, unless you're really good at editing, right? You go to editing school. And so people come up with all these workarounds, and it's great to see them. And I know, and I know where it's coming from, right? That no one learns the story pattern because they claim there isn't one. There is one. This book is about it. I mean, that's the working title. Is this is an introduction to story patterns. Yeah, that sounds good because high-level people know that the introduction is very, very important. And then people who are just coming into writing, they bond with this. They want the introduction. They want to learn it all from the bottom up. This will help you. All right, later.